So how many are going to prom? Come on, raise your hand. Excited. So prom is a high school rite of passage, and I always just like to say, please take care of your friends. Have a lot of fun tomorrow night, but make good decisions and be careful. And I'm excited to see everybody dressed up tomorrow night. So anyway, that's my annual announcement about prom. My exciting announcement, though, is it's time to announce the valedictorian for the class of 2023. So it's the tradition at York, as it is at many schools, to honor the valedictorian with the highest GPA. At York, you have to be a York student all 4 years, beginning in 9th grade, to qualify to be the York valedictorian. And then the valedictorian has the honor of giving the valedictory speech at commencement. Very close, as you might imagine. I know all of you work really, really hard at making sure that you're accomplished in the classroom. But this year, it is my pleasure, where is he, to announce that the valedictorian is Joseph Zhao.
He just needs a photo, so if that makes it easier. But it doesn't, so you can bring your guest. Thank you. See you tomorrow night.
Next, we have an announcement from the boys volleyball team, followed by Robotics.
And it was a very good match. We did very good. We may have lost 3-0, but we stayed in them in points. And we had Jaden and Miles with 2 monster blocks. And then Alex and Garrett with some really good hits.
Alright, yesterday we had a game against Imua, a girls' championship. And we won 3 sets, so.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
January 4th, 2023. Postcard received. It reads, "Hello, I don't expect you'll need it, but I'm writing to wish all the best of luck this season. I'll be wearing my 5171 shirt during kickoff and rooting for you every day. The Poofs won't know what hit them. Signed, Juliet. 3 days later, January 7th, a robotics challenge was revealed, kicking off 3 months of brainstorming, designing, building, testing, redesigning, rebuilding, retesting, planning, and strategizing. In the end, all of that work gets put to test at competition. Think of it like sports, where much of the time is spent developing the skills and practicing, then the entire regular season takes place in a day and a half. If that goes well enough, then you're on to the playoffs, a double elimination tournament where you have to play through injury and grit it out to the end. This year's team picked up the pieces from last year's fall from glory, made even more spectacular because Team 5171 had climbed to new heights. As always, each year's team's success hinges on the dedication of its members and the leadership of its captain. This year's captain, Nico Peralta, was tireless in his pursuit of making connections with other teams. He was a consumer of intel, of scouting and strategizing, constantly watching matches, taking notes, and communicating effective strategies and designs that we could take advantage of. Not only was Nico helping us be the strongest team that we could be, he was supporting other teams in the Monterey Bay area by sharing his knowledge and analysis. His efforts led Team 5171 to our most successful finish ever, and they also contributed to the success of Team 4255, the Robadors from Monterey. In fact, he was recognized by Team 4255 and awarded for his gracious professionalism this past weekend. Nico, I have something for you, and I hope you'll consider it. This team has a lot to learn from you.
Yes, sir.
Nico was not the only member of Team 5171 recognized for their gracious professionalism. The pit admin boss, the person responsible for managing the needs and logistics of all 60 teams, recognized Normandy Filsek for being, quote, just so darn nice and making my day at the Monterey Bay Regional in the Silicon Valley. Gracious professionals. I cannot think of a better term to describe every member of York Robotics. With every match, the local Monterey Bay Regional, this team kept getting better and better. Even after a frustrating round of qualification matches, Team 5171 had generated interest from many of the top teams. We were invited to join Alliance 7 for the playoffs. Together with our alliance partners, Team 8048 East Palo Alto Churobots and Team 5817 Unirex from Fresno, we lost in the first 2 matches and went home early. Gracious to have had the opportunity, professional in knowing that we still had room to grow and were committed to doing so. Getting knocked out in the first round of the playoffs continued a trend we are too familiar with. Little did we know the next weekend would change everything. In San Jose, the Silicon Valley Regional, we finished the qualification matches ranked 15th out of 59, a solid showing. We were invited to join Alliance 3 with Team 604 Quicksilver from Leland High and Team 972 Ironclaw from Los Gatos. A promising alliance of highly functional and complementary robots, great communicators, and cohesive personalities. But again, we lost our first playoff match, this time against a lower seeded alliance, placing us in the lower bracket where it was win or go home. Behind the driving, operational skill, and communication of Brian Ching and Eli Campbell, the resiliency, persistence, engagement, and support of the entire alliance, even when things weren't going our way. Team 5171 and Alliance 3 won, and then won again and again. Each win meant that another team was eliminated from the playoffs. Each win placed us closer to the finals. Each win meant that the next match would be even more competitive. Though only a dozen or so strong in the stands, we filled the San Jose University Event Center with supporting cheering that was louder than any other team. I didn't know so few could be so loud. After fighting our way all the way through the lower bracket, we were faced with the formidable challenge of Alliance 2, led by Team 4255 from Monterey. This was the first time two Monterey area teams had made it this far, and it's a shame that it was win or go home for one of us, and the other team would move into the finals. You'll get to see what happened in that match on the next forum day, but the final was 178 to 186 in favor of Alliance 3. We did it. We achieved something no version of the team had done prior to this year. We made it all the way to the finals of a regional event, and not just any regional. Silicon Valley is arguably the most competitive regional in the country. Nico and others were hugging each other in the pit and jumping around. That moment is surely one they will remember. It is one I will remember, and that joy is what motivates me to do good by them. That joy is even sweeter when every bit of it has been earned. Earned by getting knocked down and getting up again. Earned by working hard, not giving up, by recognizing that sometimes don't go your way, but all you can do is keep getting better at the things you can control. Earned by not being afraid of your own shortcomings, rather recognizing what they are and working together to overcome them. Earned by not placing blame, but by accepting responsibility. Victory is what gets celebrated, but victory after defeat is where the real joy comes from. That kind of joy is what made me teary-eyed as we prepped for our biggest challenge ever. The two Goliaths we were up against in the finals have been to the World Championships every year for the last decade, advancing to the top field there called Einstein each of those years. One of them, the Poofs, has the most championship wins, blue banners, Einstein appearances, and regional wins in all of the first robotics competition. And here they were, paired up against us. We ended up losing the first two matches to them in a best of three, with scores of 180 to 162 and 190 to 179. In both of those matches, there were small things that could have gone our way to change the outcome. So I cannot say how impressed I was to see Team 5171, Team 604, and Team 972 form a formidable alliance of our own. We will for sure be rooting for 604 Quicksilver and 972 Ironclaw when they compete at the World Championships in Houston in just a couple weeks. But wow, what a way to end a decade of 5171 robotics. With everyone watching, we proved that a small robotics team can stand among legends in the robotics scene, and we are excited for what's coming next. Let me finish by sending out a major thank you to all the parents that supported Team 5171 this season. Feeding a group of 24 teenagers is no small task, from the planning for, prepping up, delivering to, and cleaning up. It's fair to say that we're a team powered by love, from the nurturing of the parents to the caring support from within. Dr. Gerska fits seamlessly into that dynamic, and Team 5171 is grateful for your company, compassion, energy, and enthusiasm. We hope we did not embarrass you. Of course, a massive thank you to mentor Kevin Barnard, your class of 17. His expertise in software engineering and passion for this team have been fostering ever since he stepped foot in the design shop, and we would not have been as engaged and charged up this year without his willingness to mentor and the sharing of his talent. And though we may be a small school, the stream of support from all of you makes us feel like giants when we're in competition. I invite all of those who can find the time in their schedule to come see what it's like in person next year. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We look forward to sharing more about our robot, this year's game, strategizing, and taking you through some of those matches on the next forum day. But before handing this over to Nico, I'd like for him to be the first on the team to receive his second place medal. Congratulations, Team 5.
Everyone from Team 5171 to stand up and let's get a cheer going. invite Dr. Hannah back up here.
Hey!
This is a gift from the team, mainly organized by Wesley, so here you go.
Thank you. Dr. Hannah!
Really appreciate everything he does for us. Lots of time spent together in that shop, so it's one big family. Next, I'd like to invite Maddie up here to initiate the sophomore speech.
York Sports/York Robotics. Next, we have the lovely Izzy to deliver her sophomore speech.
Every year since I was 7 years old, I would beg my parents for a sibling. I found myself investigating, asking friends and peers if they got along with theirs. Every answer that I got would be added to a mental rulebook on what to do and what not to do if I ever got the chance to be an older sister. But as time passed, I felt more discouraged, and even though I didn't want to accept it, my chances of a new sibling were getting slim. But on October 15, 2021, everything I had always hoped for was finally coming true. The day my baby sister was born, my mom didn't go to school, but allowed for me to miss cross country. Once I arrived at the hospital, I sat impatiently in the waiting room. After about 30 minutes, the nurse escorted me to room 3. As soon as I laid my eyes on Sara, my heart melted and I finally felt complete. 7 pounds, 9 ounces, and completely healthy, the nurse reassured me. She was perfect. Tears slowly streamed down my face. I had a new baby sister and a best friend for life. My mom thought of the perfect nickname, Canelita, because of her beautiful gray eyes and hair the color of canela, cinnamon. One of my first tasks as an older sister was to learn to make her a bottle of milk. 2 scoops of formula is added to 4 ounces of water, not too hot and not too cold. It was crucial that I knew how to do this because the more time wasted, the fussier she got. This was the first time I felt a sense of immense responsibility as a new older sister. Additionally, I had to learn how to swaddle her. I had previous ideas of how difficult this task would be, but I had no idea what I was doing or where to start. After many trials and about 20 minutes later, I finally achieved a decent result. Over time, I completed my responsibilities with more ease. However, my tasks progressively began to grow and started to feel never-ending. As soon as I mastered one thing, I had to learn another. And as Canelita continued to reach more milestones, the more attention she required. Soon it began to feel like all the attention was focused on her. Being an only child for 14 years, this was something that I wasn't familiar with. But I felt guilty for making my mom feel like she had to choose, so I told myself that I was being selfish instead. In the midst of all these changes, there was one thing I desperately hoped would stay the same: my mom's undivided support in my soccer life. My mom was the reason I began playing soccer at the age of 5, and we have bonded over it for years. She would always be my training partner and cheer me up when I had a bad practice or game. And although she couldn't drive me to soccer practices anymore, I still hope that she could find the time to make it to some of my important games. However, when the day came, I didn't get what I hoped for. Canelita was a little fussy this morning. Mom can't rig you today. I'm sorry, Mija, said my dad as he stepped into the driver's seat. Although I felt hurt, I responded with, "That's okay, don't worry about it." We won our game that day, but I felt defeated. When I arrived back home, Canelita was asleep. My mom asked how the game went. "We won and played very well," I responded, trying to be as fake excited as I could. I didn't want to seem ungrateful or like a burden, but like always, my mother noticed. "Mija, I'm sorry I couldn't make it to your game today. I want you to know that my love for you is infinite and not like a pie cut into pieces. With Canelita, there is now more love in the family." I hugged her and held her tight. She was right. I thought of all the changes I had to adjust to. Good and bad, this drastic change has made me more resilient. It gave me a sense of gratitude that I am fortunate enough to have a beautiful baby sister. Over time, I have fully embraced all the happiness that she provides. I love it when I can critically choose her outfit of the day, deciding between a monochromatic look or her red statement boots. Or when we play a series of games together, her favorite being the classic peekaboo. In life, everyone goes through changes. It's whether we learn to adjust them or let them affect us negatively. Change is inevitable, and it's important to be grateful for what we have, where we are, and what may come. Because everything is a lesson and an opportunity to grow. And who knows, maybe change might surprise you with a new baby sister. Thank you.
Thank you, Izzy. That was beautiful. Now, if you've been wondering what's on the screen, Mr. Williams has an announcement.
So, I know it's a longer break today, but lots of things to celebrate. It was really wonderful to hear all about the robotics competition. Thank you. When we were at Disneyland, we had the opportunity to pop into a workshop with an artist who does voiceover work. Generally, they give us the opportunity to take this home, but they didn't give me that this time, and so I was kind of disappointed because this was an opportunity to showcase some of the work, but I got it digitally. But this goes away very soon, so I wanted to share it with the whole school. So what we did is we sat in the room, we worked with her, we learned a song. The first one that we learned was the Muppets theme song. And we learned all the harmonies, we learned it, and then we recorded it. Then we put on different solos on this to then understand what voiceover work looks like. So I wanted to share that out. If you were a soloist for the Muppets, please stand, because I can't remember.